Queens team, led of course by Coach Doug Hargreaves. Hargreaves, with a victory tonight, and it might not come very easily, would move to number 4 on the all-time coaching list. Year after year, the Queens Golden Gaels have an excellent football team, and the biggest reason is Coach Doug Hargreaves. One of the players he coached in the past was Rod Smith, who has this report.
At the heart of Queen's University's main campus stands the Grant Hall Tower. It's one of the oldest structures at an institution that has been around for nearly 150 years. As you look around this school, there are countless signs of tradition, stability, things that have withstood the test of time. Every autumn, about a mile west of main campus, another tradition resumes: Golden Gaels football. It's there you will find another example of how things don't change very often. In the past 44 years, there have been only 2 head coaches. The legendary Frank Tyndall, who retired in 1975 after 28 years.
The only time you would take the 2-back round would be if he's sealed. Boom, okay? You got to... Okay.
Then there's his successor, Doug Hargreaves, who's now in his 15th season. He played for Queens under Tyndall and returned years later as an assistant under Tyndall. It was inevitable Hargreaves would be influenced by the old coach.
I think the greatest thing that Frank taught me was you have to be flexible and have a sense of humor. Because you're just not going to get out of it alive. When I was in my early years in coaching, I was much more dogmatic and demanding and less patient than I am now. And I guess that comes with everyone in their lives. As you get older, you realize that nothing is black and white, and young people are young people, and you can't change that.
Doug Hargreaves wanted to be coach at Queen's University long before it ever happened, but if not for a strange twist of fate, he may never have got the job. Back after the 1975 season when Frank Tyndall retired, Hargreaves was coaching at Dalhousie University. He immediately went for the Queen's job, but as it turns out, he was the school's second choice.
Former CFL star Garney Henley was the top choice. Hargreaves made plans to leave football after that until the phone rang.
Oh, I don't remember the month. It was in the winter. My brother called me. He said, guess who's not going to go to Queens? And Garney had been offered a job as a coach at the CFL level and asked to be relieved. So when the chairman of the selection committee called me, said, would I still be interested? I said, he said, we know you were number 2. Would you still be interested? I said, I didn't care whether I was 32nd. I would still certainly come. I'd be glad to. So that's how I arrived here.
Success didn't come instantly, but in his 3rd year, 1978, the Gaels went unbeaten and capped off the season by beating UBC 16-3 in the national championship. It was one of the best teams he has ever coached. One member of that team was Bob Mullen. He joined the Gaels in 1976, Hargreaves' first season. He's now an assistant coach, and Mullen says Hargreaves has changed a bit over the years.
He's mellowed, and he's, I would say that he's a lot closer to the players now than he was. I think that's partly the age and just I think maybe him being comfortable with what he's done here in the last 15 years. And yeah, he's a different guy.
This old coach won't have quite the record of longevity that Frank Tyndall did, but he'll be close, and he'll still probably have Tyndall's sense of humor.
Well, 6 more seasons, I'll be a full-time skier deckhand. Taking up my new career. Some people said I've been retired for 15 years.
What do you know about Doug Hargreaves? Did he recruit you?
Yes, he did. When he was head coach at Dalhousie University back in 1973, I was playing high school football for Queen Elizabeth High School in Halifax. And I remember when Doug Hargreaves took over, Larry Haler was the assistant coach. They had a great coaching staff. Unfortunately, I guess for me, I ended up being coached by Larry Haler later on and never did go to Dalhousie.
You got out of that very well when you said, unfortunately. You were going to say, unfortunately, I didn't go there. Were you close to going there?
No, not at all.
Did he come to your house at all when you were?
No, he didn't come to my house, but I had spoken to him numerous times because I used to work out at Dalhousie University at that time. And Doug Hargreaves is a very well-respected coach. I know when I coached at Western for 9 years, he was very close with our program, and I know Larry Haler and Doug Hargreaves are still very, very close.
Well, the mark of a good coach, I guess, is consistency. Not necessarily winning it all every year, but having competitive teams, and that's certainly the hallmark of Doug Hargreaves. They have another good team, but they are in a big battle today. At the end of one half of play, it is the Queens Golden Gaels trailing the GGs 3-1, boning up on the C.I.A.U. when we return.